What's going on, guys? What's good? What's good? What's good? We're back again for 2MW Fury football 24/7.
No doubt.
I know that, time is coming close to the next 2017 season. I know everybody's itching for football. We're kind of halfway through the postseason, maybe a little bit more than halfway or something like that. But we got a special show today for you guys. Again, we got, Tim and Josh, our main co-hosts of Fury, joining again our guest, our honorary guest, Dula Fogmay. What's going on, fellas? What's cracking? And we're going to be talking about the NFL expansion drafts. What 3 players do you keep in each team? Tim, what's going on?
What's up? I had a long day. I don't have the beer. So today I didn't protect my beer, but we're gonna protect the players. The 3 players for each team. Let's start off with the NFC East. This is hard for me, Josh.
I think our panel wanted us to start AFC and work the way down. Randy Brown and all them.
All right.
I think they were anxious. I think they wanted to be tackled first.
All right. All right, so we gonna start with the AFCs?
Yeah, we can start with them.
Yeah, let's kill the AFC first. Let's make it interesting after. We'll make a NFC later.
By the way, Jets,
right, so
there's no one on your team I protect. Your whole team is garbage. So,
all right, I'm gonna start with the AFC East, with the Miami Dolphins, and I'm protecting Ajayi, Jarvis Landry, and Pouncey the center. I think those are the 3 guys that make a big difference on this football team. Pouncey's O-line is very needed. Jarvis Landry, hopefully he'll be that receiver they signed for a long-term deal. And Ajayi, that's their running game. Those are my 3 guys.
Yeah, I went the same route basically with Miami. I mean, you got to protect the young dudes that are going to be aspiring in the future for you with Landry and Ajayi. And then for me, I kind of looked at the defensive side. I wanted to go maybe Kiko, but at the same time, I like Rashad Jones back there. The safety is kind of like the captain back there. So I figure why not? Let's throw Rashad in the mix for my 3. So.
Well, I guess I'll go. I would definitely protect Jarvis Landry. I would actually protect Laramie Tunsil, their left tackle. And I also protect Ndamukong Suh, their defensive tackle.
Fog, you are muted.
Yep, there we go.
All right.
I kind of agree with that. I think Landry needs to be protected. I would go with Tunsil. You need to have a offensive tackle. And from a defensive standpoint, listen, Suh is still a peak performer. You want to make sure you've got the trenches covered, and those are your trenches right there. So I definitely agree with Dolo on that.
All right, moving on to the Patriots now. The Patriots got too many goodies. They got a lot of candy in the candy store. So I had to go down to my 3 best players that I feel that we have to protect. And I'm protecting Rob Gronkowski, Nate Solder, their tackle, and the linebacker Dante Hightower. And I know you Patriots fans going to be, how you don't pick Brady? Because guess what? In that division, they don't need Tom Brady to win. I think you have Garoppolo, you have Brissett that you can win with that. Okay, just play within the system.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when I went about this, I kind of put on my GM hat, and I was thinking longevity at the same time. So I also didn't put Brady in because the guy's got maybe 2-3 years with his little fish paleo diet. So obviously you're going to retain the best tight end in NFL history with Gronkowski. Now, for wide receiver, I wanted to go Edelman because I love the dude, so versatile. The targets he gets in the slot, he's so underrated.
Right.
But I was thinking at the same time, look at Brandon Cooks and look at his contract. That dude is barely making like 1% of the salary. And I think he's arguably just as good as Edelman when you put him on the same team with Brady. So I got Gronkowski, Brandon Cooks, and my third is actually going to be the future for possibly the Patriots, Jimmy Garoppolo. Retain him so you know you got a security blanket.
That's a good one. I ain't. All right.
I guess my defensive bias is going to come out. I mean, I would protect Nate Soldier, their left tackle. I would also protect Dante Hightower. He's a pretty good middle linebacker. I would actually also protect Stephen Gilmore, their corner, that they just signed from Buffalo.
That's a good one, yeah.
That's a good one. I mean,
I would definitely go defense as well. Gilmore is definitely a guy you keep. Hightower's another guy. But on the offensive side, you got to go Garoppolo. I can't. This guy, it's a game of quarterbacks, and if you think you got the future there, obviously they do. They haven't made any trades. You got to keep Garoppolo.
wait a minute. Hold up. Y'all mean to tell me y'all rather keep Garoppolo over Gronk?
Absolutely. Gronk is expendable. His injury history is there. There are tight ends that can come in. How much more does Gronk have left in the tank? It seems like he could put together a couple of years and then get hurt. You got Martellus Bennett there.
See, I can agree with that take too. I also was thinking about Gronkowski just going to like a division rival if that were to happen with an expansion draft. Like that would kill just to see that best tight end go to a division rival.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Garoppolo, you don't want to protect him, but I think if they was to pick up Garoppolo, you got Brissett. I trust Brissett. I really do trust Brissett. But, you know.
I feel you. No, I totally feel you. But I think in the grand scheme of things, granted that, Gronkowski's, all-time tight end, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the pecking order of, like, positions on a football field, I could get away without having an all-world tight end. I don't know if I could get away with having a substandard left tackle.
Yeah.
I'm going to just jump in right now. Just let people know that if you want to chime in, you got something to say with your chest, the line is open. The number is 718-313-5155. You can dial right in. Hopefully, Josh, if your graphic is up, you can put it up on your screen. That'd be great. Continue, fellas.
All right. Let's go with the Buffalo Bills. I know Hobbs is watching. Please, Hobbs, don't get mad. Try my best. I really did. Of course, LaShawn McCoy. That's the best player on the team. I'm keeping Tyrod Taylor. Why? There's nothing else behind the Bills quarterback position that I can trust if Tyrod Taylor was being picked up. And on defense, I'm taking Marcel Darius.
All right, I can definitely understand that. For me, I went the younger route because with the Buffalo Bills, when you're kind of in this process where you're not really a contender, but you're not sort of rebuilding, I'm going for the young bucks and the younger draft class that's going to help you in the future. So for me, you can't touch Zay Jones. You can't touch arguably who's going to be the leader of this cornerback now that Gilmore's gone and Tre'Davious White, and he's already the top earner on that team as a rookie cornerback over Darby even. And I like the Darius, but I went with Shaq Lawson because I think you already got too much invested in him, and it's just you can't let him go just yet. He has too much potential. I say let him go. So what you got for us, Dula?
I would actually protect Darius. This is tough. I would protect their center, Eric Wood, actually. He's been pretty good for them for a pretty long time. My third person looking at this roster is sheesh. I would actually protect Nathan Peterman.
Interesting.
Third string quarterback right now, but I think that's going to be the quarterback in Buffalo in the near future.
I'm going to go Shaq Lawson. I'm also going to go Tre'Davious White, and I'm going to go Glenn Cordy, the left tackle. I like Wood, but Wood is 31. He's kind of going away. And if you look at Glenn Cordy, he hasn't done bad. And with the addition of Dion Dawkins there on that interior, I think he's somebody you want to protect because you really don't have a quarterback right now.
All right. Let's go on to the New York Jets. Trisha, I know you're watching. Please do not dock us. We're gonna try to be very honest as possible. I'm gonna start off with Jamal Adams, the best player on the team who hasn't played yet. After that, Muhammad Wilkerson, and then Leonard Williams. To me, those are the three best guys. There was nobody on offense that said we can keep. That's it.
Yeah, again, the same situation as the Bills. Young team that really isn't contending for Jack right now. So I'm putting a lock on my young bucks that are here for the future. Jamal Adams, Leonard Williams. Not much on the offensive side, so I'm gonna put my coins in Ardarius Stewart's basket as well and keep him. Put a lock on him.
That's ambitious because there's absolutely no one on that offense I'd want. Because you gotta lock up Leonard Williams. You gotta lock up Mo Wilkerson. I could do without Sheldon Richardson actually. I would actually lock up Darren Lee, their inside linebacker.
Ooh, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, that was honorable mention.
Yeah, I'm with Dill on this. That offense can all go. I mean, they suck. It's simple. I would go defense all day. Leonard Williams, Darren Lee, and I'm with Tim. Jamal Adams. You got to lock him up. He's arguably right now the best player on the team, and he hasn't played it down yet.
Well, that was the 10-6 New York Jets team that we just finished talking about.
10-6.
10-6.
Yeah. They might not even finish 6-10.
Yeah. That's some predictions. 1-15
for 2020.
Hey guys, so you guys did not want to protect Geno Smith? Is Geno Smith still on the Jets?
What?
No, he on the Giants.
Oh, Geno. Oh, he is. Oh, never mind.
He went to the other New York team.
What doesn't matter what team he's on. Why would anyone protect him? Actually, he needs to protect his job, apparently.
I'm trolling. Continue.
If
he protected
the
his
Giants
job.
release him, they might sign him. You never know. Hey, all right, let's go to the AFC North. Baltimore. Okay, I have C.J. Mosley, top middle linebacker in football. I like Kenneth Dixon, the running back. I really do. I think he's gonna do something special this season. And it's Bowser. I think Terrell Suggs on his way out. That's his replacement. And like Josh was saying, staying young. Yeah.
I like C.J. Mosley. He's my number 1 too on the list. I actually went with another running back. I went with Danny Woodhead. I think he's going to be really serviceable for Flacco, and he's going to be a huge scapegoat for him in the passing game. And my third, you got to give somebody something on that offensive side to play with, especially if Flacco's still going to be there. And they got rid of Kamar Aiken. I think he went to Indy. So you gotta still retain Brashad Perriman. You still got to see what you have in him, put a lock on him. But, yeah, those are my three. They were a little tough.
They're tough because they're not a bad team, but if you look at the names on that roster, it's like I could do without a lot of these guys.
A lot of bucks on the defensive side, too. It's what hurt, yeah.
I would lock up C.J. Mosley. That's the most noticeable player. I'd lock up Joe Flacco. I mean, for whatever it's worth, he did win a Super Bowl. I would actually also lock up Marshall Yanda. Right guard. Some would say that he's the best guard in football. I think that's Zach Martin, but maybe that's a 1A, 1B situation.
Thank you.
We don't need Tim's head getting any bigger, especially now that he's shaved the beard off.
Hey, leave going
Hey,
already.
If that means
Who-
Dallas paying him, $40 million guaranteed, I'm all for it. Blow that money
And
on that cover.
100% OTAs. He's got to get his money, right?
Right, 100% attendance. 100% attendance.
I'm going to go CJ Mosley. I'm 100% on board. Would I agree with Flacco? Listen, he's a guy that's a quarterback that'll give you anywhere between statistical ranking of 12 to 17, and that's really all you need in order to win a Super Bowl. He proved it. But I'm going to go John Urschel. Nice young center. I think he's developing well. And you need to have that quarterback of the offensive line, and he's that guy.
All right, let's go with the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, of course, AJ Green, top wide receiver in the NFL. I got Geno Atkins, and this is now I know to a lot of I know if Maxwell was watching, he says no for this pick. I'm picking Vontaze Burfict. I think the guy is a great middle linebacker. You need that enforcer in our defense if you're going to have Geno Atkins. I think everybody else is expendable.
With Cincy, you got such a loaded backfield. I'm keeping the guy that I just picked who could potentially be better than both of them in Joe Mixon. I'm also keeping a prime wideout who I think is being in today's market, especially when Odell and them are going to get their paydays. AJ Green is going to be grossly underpaid, especially for his services and his just status in the league. He's top 5. So AJ Green, Joe Mixon in my third. I agree with you, Tim. I'm keeping Geno Atkins on that line because that dude is just an animal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep AJ Green definitely. I'm actually gonna lock up Jeremy Hill too.
Ooh,
Do a
what's
lot
your reason for that one?
Well, because until Joe Mixon hits that field, I think Jeremy Hill is still the guy. Granted, he's had some, injury issues and being inefficient. Gio Bernard's back there. He's going to sap some carries. Maybe Joe Mixon does come along and takes carries in both of them.
Yeah.
But until that happens, Jeremy Hill's still the guy. My last pick is going to surprise a lot of people. I look at their defensive backs. They got a lot of talent back there. I would actually protect Adam Jones. Is he older? Sure. Still pretty effective. Still can help you in special teams too.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. I guess we agree across the board. AJ Green has to be protected.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Cedric Ogbuye, the left tackle, and Geno Atkins. Again, it's very hard to find a quality interior defensive lineman that's able to produce. I mean, this guy reminds me of what Cortez Kennedy was for Seattle back in the day. So you got to keep him.
Rest in peace.
By the way, speaking of Pac-Man Jones, or Adam Jones, sorry. It's amazing. After all those transgressions he had, he's still in the league. He got drafted when? 2005?
And don't worry,
Yep.
he's taking Joe Mixon under his wing, so we're all good there.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon will know how to elude getting kicked out of the league.
What not to do?
Oh, they say the lifespan of a player is like what, 3 to 5 years?
Yeah,
Pac-Man Jones is what, 12?
Pac-Man stretched that.
He really stretched that really far.
All right, let's go with the Steelers. And listen, if any Steelers fan is watching, I do not care what you think. Don't think, call in and express yourself. Don't think about it, just call in. And I'm going to start off with my passion. I'm going to say I'm protecting Antonio Brown, of course. Top 3 receiver in the league, however, which order you want to put him, 1, 2, or 3. All right, I'm going with Pouncey, okay, for the O-line. And my last pick, Ryan Shazier. I am not keeping. Why? Because why would I keep somebody who hasn't played a whole full season? I don't want to worry about a guy who will be suspended the next week drinking some milkshake. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm keeping the guys who play and perform.
We on the Steelers, Tim? I'm sorry, I was getting the number up. I apologize.
Yeah, Steelers.
Okay, so for me, I'm keeping the best back in Bell, best wide receiver in Brown. You can't argue that. I mean, it's nonsense.
Yes.
So the third one was a little tricky. I went with the linebacker position. Timmons is gone, so I'm going to keep Ryan Shazier back there. So those are my three for the Steelers.
My three. So we're gonna keep Antonio Brown. I'm gonna keep Dave DeCastro, the guard. He just came off an All-Pro type season. Very good guard there. On the defensive side, I'm gonna keep Cameron Hayward. Their defensive end.
Agree 100%. I would keep Cameron Hayward on the defensive side, Le'Veon Bell, and I'm going to go Marquise Pouncey. Like I said, it's very hard to find a solid center in the league that can quarterback that front line for you.
Hold on, Fogg. You say you keep me Bell, Pouncey,
Hayward, and Pouncey. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wouldn't keep Bell. There's no point.
Of course you wouldn't.
But what does that mean?
So I hope when we get to Dallas, I hope when we get to Dallas, you don't keep Elliott either.
Yeah, listen, stop rushing. Don't rush me.
You just better keep those three offensive linemen. That's it. That's
all
it.
I'm
Keep
saying is,
or at least two O linemen in Dak.
Listen, I'm keeping guys who show 100% attendance. That's all I'm worried about.
Here we go with this shit.
You have Cowboys on Eagles violence.
Cowboys guys who can't drink. Well, a milkshake away from being suspended for a whole year.
Yeah. You going to
next
take that? Fog, you going to take that? Come on, Fog.
Listen, I'm gonna let him run his mouth because he's gonna be disappointed at the end of the season.
No, I'm not.
He's gonna be disappointed at the end of the season. It'll be another one and done, and we'll be going on to year 22.
Listen. It's not my fault you're not accepting that Ezekiel Elliott is the best running back in football and not Le'Veon Bell. If y'all gonna keep saying Dez hasn't played, well, what about Bell? How many playoff games has he played?
We'll get to that. Yeah, Bell has played less games, and yet he's still outperforming him. So let's go.
Outperform, oh my God. Against bad team like the Buffalo Bills in the snow. Ooh. What did he do against us when we played him? Zeke outplayed him. We're going to move it on, though. We're going to move it on, y'all. Cleveland Browns. Hey, listen. When it came to I've been to Brown Stadium, and their bathrooms are great. Their bathrooms are great. When it came to the Browns.
Because there's no fans there.
The popcorn machine. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So it was kind of hard. I made my 3 picks. Myles Garrett, of course. And Jabril Peppers. The 3 draft picks they had in the first round this year. Those are my guys that I'm keeping.
Tim, I'm not gonna lie, I almost went the same route because let's be honest, do they actually have 3 worth keeping and putting a lock on? The GM is probably going around like, you're all expendable. You. But yeah, with Cleveland, Myles Garrett, okay, you get a lock because you're 1-1. So and then let's be the normal GM for Cleveland. We're looking for a possible trade suitor for Joe Thomas. Oh, just kidding. He's not going anywhere. So let's just put a lock on him too, right? Joe Thomas, never going anywhere, but he's been a trade prospect since 2007. And for my third, I went with the guy that I feel is actually buying into the program in Cleveland. And I think he actually might be a tad responsible for a little bit of recruitment there. Little Jamie Collins. I think he's actually liking, well, you could argue the money's what's making him like it out there, but overall, he's putting on a good front if it is a front that he enjoys it out there. So,
oh man, talk about a team devoid of talent. You gotta lock up Myles Garrett. I know he hasn't played it down to football yet, but yeah, you get it. I'll lock up Emmanuel Ogbah, their other defensive end.
Yeah.
I think he has a bright future. I think another youngster that has a bright future, whenever they get a quarterback, is Corey Coleman. You gotta mute yourself, Fox.
Mute.
I'm gonna lock up. I had no idea I muted myself. I'm gonna lock up J.C. Treader. I'm gonna lock up Corey Coleman, and I'm gonna lock up Myles Garrett for them. I almost thought about locking up the punter.
Power move.
Top 5 punter, Brenton Colquitt.
Oh man, there's some shots out there.
There's no Cleveland fans in 2 W's, so it doesn't matter.
Let's take it to the most exciting division in football, Tim.
What's that? The AFC West?
I was thinking the South. It's so exhilarating. So,
Sure. You know what? Yeah. Let's save the West for last. We'll say the West for last.
There you go. I like that. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay. So, forgive us. Start with the Houston Texans.
Ooh, an expansion team.
Yeah, Hopkins. You gotta keep Clowney. You gotta keep Whitney Mercilus. To me, those are the three best guys. Why not J.J. Watt? They had a great record without him. Back injuries, take him.
I actually agree with you.
Good catch.
Yeah, all three except for one, Mercilus. I'm going to replace him with I actually like Lamar Miller a lot, so I'm going to keep him. I'm going to put the tag on Miller, along with Hopkins and Clowney.
I'm gonna definitely I'm gonna lock up Nuke Hopkins. I think he's a top 5 receiver in the league.
Yep.
I'm gonna lock up J.J. Watt. I still think he has a lot in the tank, and look, he's not that far removed from 20 sack season, so I think he's still productive in this league. That comes down to either Mercilus or Clowney. I'm leaning towards Clowney. Mercilus. Mercilus has been a little more consistent than Clowney over the years.
I'm going to go Lamar Miller, definitely, because they have no other running back there. DeAndre Hopkins is a definite. And then on the defensive side, I got to go J.J. Watt. I like Mercilus. I like Clowney, but I agree with Dilla. I think J.J. Watt has a lot more left in the tank to give.
All right, we can move on to the now. Of course, I'm gonna keep Luck, even though he hasn't the way NFL experts thought he will. They thought he was the next Peyton Manning, the next great thing, but he's still a top quarterback. I'm keeping Dante Moncrief, and I'm keeping Malik Hooker, their free safety draft pick. Why I'm not picking T.Y. Hilton? I think he's overrated. I don't express nothing great for players who just fly deep, and that's all he can do. I think he's an overrated player. Coach Fan shouldn't cry if a team came in there and took him. I'm sorry.
If I'm the Colts, I'm retaining Andrew Luck. I think he had a down year. I still think he's one of the best QBs in the game. I'm also keeping Dante Moncrief. I think he's just not getting his market value right now, and he's grossly underpaid for his services. And I like the tight end Jack Doyle. Honestly, I think just purely out of potential and seeing what he could do in the small spurts. And I think there's a reason they got rid of Dwayne Allen so easily. So Moncrief, Doyle, and Luck for me.
All right, let's lock up Luck, obviously. On the defensive side, I'm going to lock up Vontae Davis. I think, he's one of the best corners in the league, actually. Doesn't get a lot of press because it's Indianapolis, but I think he's a very, very good man-to-man corner.
Yeah.
A third person, if I had to pick, I'm looking at their 3 receivers. They're all good, but, no one blows me away, per se. The third person I would pick, going back to their defensive side, is I would actually keep Jabal Sheard as their outside linebacker.
Be different. So I'm going to go with Jonathan Hankins. I'm going to go with Vontae Davis, and then obvious Andrew Luck.
I like the Hankins move. All right. Moving on to the Tennessee Titans. I'm keeping Marcus Mariota. He's their franchise quarterback. I am keeping their wide receiver Corey Davis. And I'm keeping the offensive line Taylor Lewin. Why I'm not picking DeMarco Murray? Because the Dallas Cowboys made DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray didn't make the Dallas Cowboys. And for any of you Tennessee Titans fans out there, you want to call in, just call. Don't think about it. Just call if you got any beef about it. You had a great offensive line.
Yeah, didn't DeMarco Murray run behind a great offensive line in Dallas too? And he produced top 5. You know what? I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna let that dangle out there. We'll just let. Man,
I saved the beat. You see, Sean? I saved the beer. Or I've been cool, collect. This is, I'm gonna go the beer back. I'm gonna go back and be dangerous over and over again.
Samson cut the hair.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray is not somebody I would keep. Why? Because, again, he's expendable. And the Dallas Cowboys made DeMarco Murray.
Okay, so tell us who you're going to keep. We don't care who you're not going to keep.
I put that out there.
So you're 3 for the Titans, Tim?
DeMarco Murray, DeMarco Murray, DeMarco Murray.
Who was the 3, Tim? Who was the 3?
I gave you my 3. I gave you Mariota, Corey Davis, and Taylor Lewan.
Okay, Corey Davis. I didn't hear that one. All right. For me, the Titans, Taylor Lewan, young left tackle. You got to secure that on the line. Obviously, I'm keeping Mariota too. And then I'm not a hater like Tim, so DeMarco Murray is going to be my 3rd.
I'm not hating. What do you do behind Philadelphia?
Oh man, Dula, take it over, hurry.
All right. I'll take Taylor. I'll take Taylor Lewan. I'll also take their only All-Pro player. That's Jack Conklin on the right side at right tackle, rookie All-Pro. Right? Think about that, boys. He was a rookie, first-team All-Pro. He's the best right tackle in the game, apparently. So we'll keep him. And my 3rd pick, I'll also keep Jarrell Casey on their defensive line.
That would be so relaxed and getting the good names. This is cool and kind of like, I got this shit. I got this. It's like the Conklin one was a great pick. I ain't gonna lie. That was a great
By the way,
pick.
I recall a certain Giants fan or a certain few Giants fans, not named Josh, I think his name was James Cooper, who said that the Titans would regret passing on Laramie Tunsil for Jack Conklin.
Not dropping names, but
Yeah.
dropping names.
No names dropped there. James
Not
Cooper.
pointing any elbows or
You know
anything.
what?
Listen, look, who was it? Ronnie Stanley, then Conklin, and then Decker, and then who was it? Tunsil? You tell me who was the All-Pro out those 4.
You know what? Donna? I really do think James Cooper needs to. I remember he did say that. Telling him, Conklin, watch him. Watching, do the right thing, call in and apologize.
Call in and apologize. That's all we need.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go with Taylor Lewan, Jack Conklin, and I'm going to go with Mariota.
All right.
Wait a minute. Why not DeMarco Murray?
If he was on Dallas, I wouldn't take him either.
Oh, why? Because he didn't produce for you in Philadelphia? Because he only got 3 yards against Dallas?
Well, because he wasn't in the right system, and I couldn't understand why Chip Kelly grabbed him anyway. But you wouldn't know nothing about that because
I knew about that.
you're not a football guy.
No, what? I'm more than a football guy.
Not a
I'm not a
football
DeMarco
guy.
Murray guy. I'm not a DeMarco Murray guy. You know why? Because guess what? I don't settle for no 3 yards.
Where's Spoonie Bear? He knows more about football.
What does that
than
even mean, by the way?
Hey,
no.
Spoonie Bear is writing his next article for the Raiders.
Wait.
Yo, don't say anything about the Raiders on the show, bro.
Nah,
They don't stop.
Lord.
listen, hey Sean, we saved the best division for last.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, listen. Let's start off with the Denver Broncos, shall we?
How are you gonna forget about the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh man.
You know
Wow.
why?
How Sway?
They're expendable, and
Wow.
I'm glad you put that.
Not
I
only
need
do
to
they
that,
get forgotten about inside a 2-minute warning on the actual group, but now Tim is
I'm
just
sorry.
plainly
I'm
being
sorry.
disrespectful against all of Jacksonville and their
Listen.
fans right now.
Wait, hold on.
I think
don't know if
the
Kyle
city
Page
of
was watching.
Jacksonville
I'm sorry.
forgot about the Jacksonville
No, you know why?
Jaguars.
I'm gonna dedicate my pick to the way Patrick Ramsey was talking in his interview.
It's because Tom Coughlin's there
No.
now.
Wait, I'm gonna do a Ramsey. Just tell him, it's just me.
You got to get
All
your
right.
leather computer case.
All right. Well, here's the thing. Keep it Patrick Ramsey, top corner. He's growing. You know, big boy. All right. I'm gonna keep Ramsey.
Jalen.
Because
You
Patrick
meant
Ramsey
Jalen.
was a quarterback for the Redskins.
Patrick Ramsey was a quarterback.
You mean Jalen
Oh
Ramsey?
snap! Jalen Ramsey. Excuse me. Man, how we forget about the Jacksonville Jaguars? All right.
Tim is still thinking about his beard this morning.
What did they do?
Patrick Ramsey. I tell you, man, he has not been the same since last week.
Hey, babe, let me get the brush. I brush my face. I gotta brush it. Make it feel good. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Jalen Ramsey.
You're not going to keep Barry Church?
Jalen Ramsey, Leonard Fournette, and listen, I think he's a top 5 linebacker in this game. He doesn't get really spoken about. I'm taking Telvin Smith. He's a free agent too, coming up too.
For me, in Jacksonville, I'm going to keep that big boy Calais Campbell. I like him a lot on the defensive end. And for someone they actually just picked up off free agency, AJ Boye, I like him a lot in the defensive back area. And then your generational back that you just got, Leonard Fournette, not letting him go yet.
Oh man, this hurts my heart. This hurts my heart. You haven't mentioned my boy. I would first protect Allen Robinson.
Yep.
I was thinking that.
Top 10 receiver in the game, Allen Robinson. It's not his fault Blake Bortles is quarterback.
He hurt me last year. You cut off.
Yeah, so we got Allen Robinson. I want to say Hearns, but I can pass on Hearns. Jalen Ramsey will keep him. We'll also keep Miles Jack.
That's a good one.
Over Dante Fowler. Interesting.
He hasn't shown for me a top 3 pick. He hasn't shown me a lot yet.
Yeah.
I know he was hurt that whole season. I'm not impressed.
It's almost like juggling a piece of shit in a vomit pile, though. You know, it's like, which one do I want to retain?
That's a hell of a comparison. Holy shit.
Bring out the best in Dante Fowler. He's been mighty quiet.
Yeah.
Feces.
I'm going to go with Allen Robinson. I'm going to go with AJ Bouye. And I've got to go with Miles Jack.
Hold on. So you guys are going to retain Allen Robinson, but you're not going to retain Antonio Brown on the Steelers?
Oh, wait a minute. Tell me.
Yeah. I honestly,
That makes sense.
You got Bell, a guy that could catch out of the backfield as well as run the ball. Allen Robinson is the only positive offensive thing you've got in Jacksonville. Blake Bortles can close his eyes and throw the football up, and Robinson will come down with it, which has been basically what's gone on since Bortles got there.
He
But
didn't even do that last year. He was a bum.
And here's the thing.
He went from an
Leonard Fournette has
AR-15 to a 9 milli. He was a bum.
Leonard Fournette has played
again,
more games.
it's not him and DeAndre Hopkins were victims of circumstance.
Okay, all right, I'll give you that.
Victims? No, hold up. Wait a damn second. Wait a minute. There's no victims here. Why is it a victim when it comes to the guys you like, Fogman? But when it's
I like Antonio Brown.
Hey guys, Brian on the wall just said you can find a T.Y. Hilton on every draft. So,
hey, Brian, hey, you know what, Brian? Brian, I respect your game, but what I don't respect is, Brian. First of all, I don't respect the fact how everybody on top of Le'Veon Bell. What the man has done. The man drinks milkshake, gets suspended. He hasn't played a whole season yet. And we're talking about because he cut up the backfield, because he can do this. All right, when he plays, when he's not in trouble. We want to troll the troublemakers and the drug addicts. Well, where do you think he fits at? Why do you think he's not signed yet? Because they know if we give him all the money on those milkshake, guess what? He go bye-bye. For a whole 10. But y'all respect that. Y'all love that. Child, please.
You on your Tyler Perry today? Where's your wig, my dear?
Actually, it was a good show yesterday. That show yesterday. I forgot the name of the show.
Tim, why you
Tyler Perry is definitely a good director. All right, let's moving on to the AFC West.
Why you mad, Tim?
Do it.
Because no one agrees that the Cowboys have every great player in the NFL.
I knew Broncos were coming first.
Hold
He
on,
just wants to say it.
We go. See, we're gonna get to the NFC East after this. Fine, I'm just gonna get you. Tom, Demaryius Thomas. I'm gonna keep him. Aqib Talib. All right, and Emmanuel Sanders. I am not keeping Simeon.
I knew it.
I'm not keeping Lynch. Hasn't played yet. The running game, not keeping none of that. That's about it.
You're keeping both receivers? Thomas and Sanders?
Yeah.
Damn. Yes. Damn. All right. Well, damn. All right. Well, first of all, I don't like Aqib Talib because Chris Harris is better than him, and he's earning less than Aqib Talib is. So I'm keeping Chris Harris, and I'm also keeping Von Miller because he's top 2 linebacker in the game. Because he's interchangeable, I think, with Justin Houston. But and then my third, I think I'm keeping that big hitter in the backfield, T.J. Ward. I think if you really don't have anything too special on the offensive side, okay, keep your defense intact.
We'll keep DT definitely wide receiver. I'll keep Von Miller. I like his game. He can play linebacker and put his hand in the dirt and still be effective.
Man.
Now, Tim, you talked about Talib. You talked about Chris Harris. Look, I think they got a young gun who's going to be as good as them. That's Bradley Roby. I'm going to protect him.
Ooh,
Oh, interesting.
intriguing.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with I might as well just stay all defense. I'm gonna protect Chris Harris. I'm gonna protect Von Miller. And on the offensive side, even though he hasn't set foot on the field yet, I'm going to protect Garrett Bowles.
Yeah, I really do like the Von Miller.
I like Bowles pick, yeah.
All right, let's move it on. And you know what? Don't get me wrong. I love the fact how all of us pick cornerbacks because we all know playing in that division, when those corners don't play really nobody that good, you get better. Not throwing no shade. All right, so let's go on to the San Diego Chargers. I got Hunter Henry.
Tim, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Huh? Oh, excuse me, the LA Chargers.
Show some respect.
I'm sorry.
Why are you trolling San Diego like that? They're the LA Chargers.
StubHub Chargers.
Yeah.
Playing StubHub field.
Sorry.
StubHub Chargers.
The Carson, California Chargers.
All right, I'm keeping Hunter Henry. I think he's a very good tight end coming up. He replaced Antonio Gates last year when he had to. Of course, Phillip Rivers. And I'm keeping Melvin Gordon.
I think I had pretty much the same thing. I like Hunter Henry a lot. You definitely got to keep Melvin Gordon in the backfield. He's still very cheap on that contract, and I think you got to protect that pick since you don't really have anything on the offensive side. You can't trust Keenan Allen. You got to protect that number 7 pick that you just got this year. Mike Williams could be your future there in LA.
So LA Chargers is going to be one of the few teams where I pick 3 players from the same side of the ball. Going off defense here. I'm going to protect Casey Hayward. Pretty good in Green Bay. Has gotten better in LA. I'm going to protect the guy they just gave a lot of money to, Melvin Ingram, stud pass rusher. I'm going to also protect Corey Liggett, their defensive tackle.
I agree. I'm going to protect Melvin Ingram and Corey Liggett on the defensive side of the ball, and on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to protect Melvin Gordon.
Now, boys, you're not going to protect. I didn't protect him either. The defensive rookie of the year, Joey Bosa.
He has to show 100% attendance.
How did I know that was going to come up?
In addition, we're not going to protect Phillip Rivers either.
Because he's in the twilight of his career.
That's true.
He's looking for his bolos on CBS Sports after.
I just love Phillip Rivers because he's just YOLO. He just throws the ball up and just hopes for the best.
YOLO.
I really hope he gets traded. I really hope he gets traded to a better team.
You know, he'll go in the Hall of Fame, if anything, for the most YOLO type throws. Like
every throw that Phillip throws this year, he's just yelling, "Kobe!"
he just throws and hopes for the best.
Let's go to the Chiefs. Chelsea. I got Patrick Mahomes, and I got Eric Berry.
For the Chiefs, I definitely love the Berry. You got to keep Eric Berry. He's the heart and soul in that backfield. And I really like the cornerback Marcus Peters, young and one of the best in the game already. And then that linebacker that I said earlier, I think he's 1 and 2 with Von Miller. I think you got to keep Justin Houston there in Kansas City.
Wow, that's a tough roster because I'm looking at it and I'm realizing
a lot of good names.
Guys like Tamba Hali and Derek Johnson are still in the NFL. Sheesh. I'm going to protect Marcus Peters to start. I'll also protect Travis Kelce. Now, I'll protect a guy who, former number 1 overall pick.
You got 5.
I'm going to go with Marcus Peters and Eric Berry, obviously. But then I got to protect Travis Kelce. They don't have much on the offensive side that can produce, so you got to get him.
Right. All right. Let's go to our favorite team in AFC, the Oakland Raiders. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, they ain't Oakland still technically. Yeah, the Raiders. All right.
It's going to be Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah.
Las Vegas, excuse me. Okay, I'm keeping Sebastian Janikowski because he is the Raiders all-time scoring leader. I'm keeping the heart and soul of the special teams Marquette King, the black punter. When he runs down that field, he is ferocious. He sticks it in. Please, you got to keep the hype train out of the out of the Las Vegas Raiders right now, and that's beast mode. He hasn't played it down, but I know once he has them bag of black and silver Skittles, he's gonna get everybody going. Okay, I'm just trolling. Okay, my real 3.
No, I'm serious. I would definitely keep Sebastian Janikowski. They spent a first-round pick on him. So,
hey, listen, hey, Carrie, man, you watching? I was thinking about Janikowski. I really was. All right. Really,
burned
really.
the first round pick on a kicker. So
Yeah, I'm sorry. I really was. But of course, I'm going to go with Derek Carr, the best team they have. Amari Cooper, their best wide receiver on the team. And, of course, Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I'm going with the young trio that everyone thinks of the faces of the franchise when you think of the Raiders. Carr, Cooper, and Khalil Mack. Putting my lock on those three.
I'm going to lock up Khalil Mack. I'm going to lock up Carl Joseph. I'm also going to lock up Derek Carr. It was a toss-up between Derek Carr and Alden Smith. Oh, wait, he's still suspended. Never mind. Sorry.
My
bad.
Yeah, you're bad. Dola stole my thunder. Those were the exact 3 Raiders players I would have kept.
Sorry to cut you guys off, but Tim, Randy just said that black punter isn't a position. He's just a punter. Moving on.
But they call him the Nightman. All right.
This was tough, protecting. You got guys like Cordell Patterson, who's gonna, and Jared Cook. Oh God, they're gonna blow up.
Listen,
they're gonna set the league on fire this year.
Listen, I don't want to get to a Raiders debate, but to me, they're the best team to pick in Madden. The Madden name, the franchise mode online, they're gonna be the best team. But on the field, they got a lot to worry about.
I mean, listen, Al Davis once said, "Just win, baby, win." They haven't done that in the last 15 years, so I'm happy that they turned that around.
Winning solves everything.
Yep. Except for moving to Las Vegas, but things happen.
Winning brings the fans out. That's what winning does.
Oh, you know what's funny, Fog? We and Josh and Kyle, when we talk about the Raiders. In Oakland, they had the black hole. They had the greatest costumes, all kind of crazy stuff. But not even in Vegas. What type of Raiders are you going to be? Are you going to be the same thing? Are you going to be the regular average fans, with the fur coats? And what kind of Raiders fans are you going to be now? I don't know. The rich snobs? I don't know.
It's hard to tell. They could be dressing like Jalen Ramsey in their new stadium, so I have no idea.
Hey, listen, them shoulder shirts, they cost now.
They're going to be coming in with the dry fit technology shirts that are like skin tight with the little punk spikes on the shoulders. Like, we're here for our Los Angeles Raiders.
That's hot. Oh,
I'm just messing around. Get to the new team before I get in trouble here.
It's not going to matter because apparently no Raiders fan would ever watch the show.
Well, anyway, whatever John says and do does not reflect the image of.
All right, to hell with the Raiders.
Wait! What's with this PC bullshit here?
Oh man!
This guy says Trevor Seaman, and that's okay. He has the audacity, the nerve to say something as vulgar as Ezekiel Elliott's better than Le'Veon Bell, and we got to put up with that.
I am half Spanish. The way I speak, I said, "See me." I got an accent.
That's even racist for your Puerto Rican.
This shit took a turn.
We have a way.
Come on.
Oh man, I think we have another hour. Keep it going.
Let's go on to the NFC East.
Let's tackle this NFC. Let's do this. Let's get through this. Oh, the NFC North is going to be a joke later.
Boys. Listen, I love you. I love my Cowboys fans, and I know we may have some differences for what I'm about to pick my 3. I'm keeping Dak Prescott, of course. It's hard to find a young quarterback and replace for the MVP season. The MVP season he had last year. Yeah, relax, Fogman. I see you. Okay, I'm keeping Tyron Smith, the best left tackle in the game, and I'm keeping Frederick. Game. You got to have O-line protect the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you could pick your poison with the freaking line. Jeez, in Dallas, it's like a freaking Amazon warehouse freaking sign on and pick your prime offensive lineman. So Dallas, Zach, Dak. What else you got? Zach Martin, Dak, and then Zeke. So it's really not too hard with Dallas, is it? It's not, is it?
That was very
there's
hard.
nothing on the there's nothing on the defensive side worth keeping.
Yes, it is.
Right.
It is.
I mean, look, listen, I know there are big names like Tyron Crawford and Damian Wilson and Anthony Brown that are gonna blow everyone away, but really, their offenses, where we want to focus here, obviously. I'm keeping Travis Frederick. I'm keeping Zach Martin. I'm keeping Tyron Smith.
Oh, snap. You're going to go. Wow.
I'm going Zach Martin. I'm going Tyron Smith, and I'm going Dak Prescott. I agree with Tim. Tim finally said something intelligent.
No, first of all, hit the
mute button. Quick, Sean, hit the mute button.
Nah, you disagree with me because I didn't pick Zach Martin. I picked Frederick.
I said Travis Frederick. He's the center.
You said Frederick, Zach Martin, and Dak Prescott.
I said Frederick, Tyron Smith, and Dak Prescott. Left tackle, center.
It helps another thing. There are guys on Dallas that you could have kept on defense. Like, for instance, Sean Lee.
Oh, yeah, let's keep Anthony Hitchens. Orlando Scandrick. Yes,
I didn't say that. I didn't say those guys. Sean Lee,
Anthony
Jalen
Brown.
Smith and Sean Lee are two guys you keep. Those are the two guys you keep. Jalen Smith. I mean, Sean Lee is the.
While you're at it, keep Nolan Carroll, too.
Why are we spending so much time on a 500 team? Let's move it on.
Oh, see, that's what I would say.
Division champ. Division champ.
Look, Tim, I know you want to protect Chidobe Awuzie and Jordan Lewis and Carlton and guys, Malik Collins. Joey Ivy the fourth is gonna really just mess with everyone, wreak havoc on that line.
Right now, Jordan Lewis and Awuzie is going to be like Champ Bailey. You see.
I love it.
Let's move on. Come on, let's move on.
God. You keep 13.
Keep the.
I'm keeping Odell Beckham Jr. I'm keeping Sterling. I'm keeping Sharp. I'm keeping Landon Collins.
You are keeping Sterling, you said?
Yeah, Shepard. Keeping Shepard,
Okay.
Odell, and Collins.
Odell and Collins are the two locks for me. The third one I had a little difficulty with. I kind of wanted to go almost like Janoris Jenkins, but I sided with JPP on this matter. I still think he's just as good, I think, as Olivier, even without the 10 fingers going on. But it is what it is. So you got to take your value, I think, with this. I went with the market value a little more, because Olivier's getting paid an astronomical amount. So I'll go with a little bit of the bargain in JPP.
So you was a finger away of picking. You was a finger away.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I get that.
I'll go Odell Beckham Jr. I'll go Landon Collins. There are three players for this last one that I'm looking at. I will go. I'll go Eli Apple.
Yep.
Boom.
I'm gonna go Landon Collins. I'm gonna go Odell. And listen, you gotta show some love for the special teams guy, Brad Wing.
Woo! My man.
No, Evan Ingram, your first round draft pick.
Swaggy P, baby.
You know what? I really hope that somebody pisses Brandon Marshall off in that locker room. I really do. That's all I wish for.
So he brings a knife.
I just want somebody to piss. I want somebody to piss off Brandon Marshall to get off in that locker room. That's what I want. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles, 5-man team. The team that hasn't won a Super Bowl.
You got to go there. Wow, it's June.
I'm keeping Carson.
It's okay,
Wentz.
we'll be sitting here next June and looking at Dallas not winning the Super Bowl again. It's
We
fine.
are going to Super Bowl. It's
with
that's-
those co-MVPs
we
over there.
are going to the championship. We're going to win.
Yeah, you got to buy your tickets, though.
Tim,
Go.
I fault to cut you off before you make your three. Watching Antiques Roadshow a lot, they say not to try to clean the rust off your jewelry.
Really? Well,
Yeah, it takes the value off.
No, if that's what it takes, then I think Fogmeg shouldn't have no ice spray because all he got is those wooden rings from the championship days in that trophy case.
All right,
Watch out for the termites.
Come on.
Termites go crazy. All right,
They don't rust.
I'm taking Carson Wentz. I'm a Carson Wentz fan, and that's because of Dollar. I'm a big Carson Wentz fan, and also Mike Ford, who's on a plane ride. I am taking Lane Johnson, even though he has a drug issue. Valuable tackle.
You make
Okay,
it sound
and
like
I'm
he was found in a crack house or something.
Yeah, you really do that.
No, he had an issue last year. I'm hoping that he's all right and will be ready to perform this season. And I'm taking Fletcher Cox. I think Fletcher Cox is one of the better defensive tackles in this game. Awesome.
I agree with Wentz and I agree with Lane Johnson. My third was actually Brandon Graham. I would love to have a linebacker like that in blue.
I gotta make my protections. We'll go Carson Wentz. All right. We'll go Brandon Graham. Gotta show my man out of Michigan some love.
Yep.
And surprise, no one talked about Malcolm Jenkins. I'm protecting Malcolm Jenkins at safety.
I'm going also Carson Wentz. You got to protect him. I was struggling with the offensive line a bit, but when I started looking at the defensive side, I got to keep Fletcher Cox. You need a good pass rusher. And then Malcolm Jenkins, he's the quarterback of that secondary. He's done a phenomenal job with the subpar corners that they've had. You know, one of those guys are on Dallas's team now, Nolan Carroll.
Tim, what do you want to say?
You know what?
I can see the face.
No, it says it's hit me. Jenkins has been picked by 85%, 90% of you guys, and this is the same guy that Dez told him, "I'm gonna take you to school," and he did.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, Jenkins. Yeah. Anyway, that guy.
Wait, the same guy that dropped it? That guy?
Drop what?
You know, the same guy that dropped it. You know.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't. Oh, you're talking Alshon Jeffrey, the another drug suspension? Listen, him and Lane Johnson should not be hanging with each other in the locker. We got to watch out for both of them.
Listen, Philadelphia is trying to catch up with Dallas on drug suspensions.
We have
Now we
no
got to get we got to get to wife beaters too now.
wife beaters. Who beat their wives?
Oh, Randy Gregory. Not Randy Gregory. Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy.
Now, why in Dallas?
Didn't you guys sign him?
I don't know. I never heard of that.
No, of course not. Never heard of that.
This happened in Dallas? I heard something like that in Carolina, not Dallas.
I forgot. Jerry Jones is the guy of second, third, and fourth opportunities.
This is what America's about: opportunity.
And wait a
There you
minute,
go.
Dallas never had drug issues because Michael Irvin wasn't taking bumps before he went
wait
out.
a minute.
Come
Hold
on,
on,
man.
wait a minute. Michael Irvin never had a drug issue. The thing is this.
No, he had it all under control at the hotel parties.
The hotel parties.
Washington's next, right? Washington's next.
They were
The team
all
that's always
celebration.
on paper and has nothing.
You know what, Fogman?
We have a lot of
lies.
people weighing. We have Quado, Kevin Class. They're like, oh, they're right at the NFC North, but they're talking about cocaine. What's going on?
Because if
Yeah,
you're
but meanwhile,
you might be on so.
Listen, don't. I mean, listen,
But
don't
meanwhile,
talk about cocaine.
no one's seen a
Stop us from the fact that
LT.
Dez dropped it.
Dez did not drop that pass.
Never forget.
The referee dropped the call.
According to the NFL, he dropped the pass.
Never forget.
Yeah, at least our quarterback don't throw up in the huddle with Campbell soup. Anyway.
Hey, listen, things happen. Well, what can I say?
Yeah.
When was the last time? When was the last time one of your quarterbacks went to the Super Bowl? Oh yeah, that's right, Troy Aikman.
Wait, how you gonna ask that and y'all never won one? I don't understand that. See, Josh,
In all
the
fairness,
NFC should be
though, Sam, you got to admit, you can say whatever you want about Donovan McNabb. He never got beat up on spring break like Dak Prescott did.
Oh, that was cool. That's cool. Hey, listen. You know what? In all reality, Dak Prescott was a good young man trying to enjoy himself, and you got guys who can't stand when it's what we go through in society. I don't want to bring up no politics, not like that, but it's something where I hope leaders like Colin Kaepernick will be able to preach to our community that let's not hurt each other. Let's join each other. And that right there, that hurt me when I saw a young man like Dak Prescott.
That was crazy. Yeah, Dak, I heard he took like some girl's MTV Spring Bling seat, and the 13-year-olds just pressed him. It was.
Yeah.
No, that didn't
I
happen.
feel bad. I feel bad for Prescott.
That's how soft he is. If he didn't get to go to Dallas behind that offensive line, man, his soft nature has been exposed.
All right, look, we gotta talk about
Wait a minute. Who has a jail system? Who has a jail in this stadium?
They used to.
No, they used to. It's still there. I went to visit.
You went to visit, they locked you up in there.
Hey. I'm clean. I went to visit.
That's what you called it when they took you down there. You were visiting
stadium.
NFC North.
Whoa! You're just gonna ignore the Washington Redskins?
Oh yeah. No, well yeah, we are because they're racist. NFC North.
Right. Washington Redskins. I'm gonna keep Kirk Cousins. You like that? Kirk Cousins. I'm keeping Trent Williams because I like how he was aggressive, how he punched Richard Sherman in the face. So that was pretty cool stuff. And I'm gonna keep their first round pick, Jonathan Allen, because I think it was a steal of the draft to where they picked him at. So, Yo, Sean, you on that phone too much. You calling Richard Sherman on me? Richard Sherman, I'm a big fan of you. Here, but I couldn't have this time to get them dreads. Stop.
Yeah, I agree, Jonathan Allen. You got to retain him. Such a valuable grab late in the draft. And then for me, left tackles, we've been talking about being valuable. So Trent Williams, I'm going to retain him. If whoever you keep, if it's Kirk or if it's whatever QB coming in. And this guy I always rave about, Terrell Pryor. I think he's going to be the best wide receiver on that team.
Josh.
Which, for the record, looking at their depth chart, I mean, they got Jameson Crowder. All right, fair enough. They got Josh Doxson. Not much after that.
That's kind of what I was going for, over Doxson at least. Yeah, other first round picks.
Let's keep Trent Williams. Let's keep Jordan Reed.
Yeah.
Let's keep Mason Foster.
Good one.
I don't know why you Jordan Reed. I'm Trent Williams. I'm with Mason Foster, and I'm with Jonathan Allen. Jordan Reed, the only thing he keeps is a concussion.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's I don't know how you keep him when it's a coin flip whether or not he's going to start because of his situations. He might be finished.
How about P. Ryan? I wanted to keep P. Ryan. I think P. Ryan's a sleeper too. I mean, that's Dulla's sleeper.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's Ryan Kerrigan too. I mean, Ryan Kerrigan's pretty good.
All right, guys, we got to move it on, guys. It's already an hour past. Let's go.
All right, let's go on to the NFC North. Let's go with the Green Bay Packers.
No one.
I'm keeping Clay Matthews.
Why?
nobody plays with long blonde hair the way he does. It's incredible.
Years old.
You know what? I'm looking at it. I gotta keep Jordy Nelson. He only performs when his quarterback is playing. So therefore, I'm keeping Aaron Rodgers. When they both together in the field, they both do good things. When one of them is missing the other one, they don't perform very well.
Green Bay, I don't like the Clay Matthews. He's getting old. He showed signs, so I'll keep Nick Perry on the other end. And then I'm keeping Jordy Nelson. And yeah, I'm keeping Aaron Rodgers. You're not letting him go. Absolutely not.
Tim.
He ain't nothing.
But wait a second, Tim. when Jordy Nelson was out that whole year, Aaron Rodgers threw for over 4,000 yards and threw like what? I think it was like 35 touchdowns to 10, like 8 or 9 picks.
Pass first offense.
That doesn't really matter. Whether it's pass or run first, he's still pretty good.
I mean, they got to they got to receive. I mean, this is why Jordy Nelson's not even getting paid like
Randall Cobb and they got Randall Cobb and James Jones. I mean, I don't know, Tim.
No, Devontae Adams is the man.
The man that inconsistent.
Green Bay always had. Nah, listen, Jordy Nelson is a good system wide receiver. He's
come on, Tim.
See him play against Seattle.
Yeah. Jordy Nelson is the reason why Josh Freeman was a first-round pick. Let's be honest. Josh Freeman was terrible, and he was the reason why. Jordy Nelson is single-handedly.
Jordy Nelson is a receiver that he has to be wide open. He's not a physical guy. He gets pressed a lot. Richard Sherman did him dirty. And if you can't be Richard Sherman, you're not a good receiver.
You ate up Richard Sherman. Whatever. I'm protecting Aaron Rodgers. I'm protecting Jordy Nelson. I'm protecting Clinton Dix.
You gotta protect. You gotta protect Dix just because of the name. I'm gonna go Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, and I gotta go Ty Montgomery. I have loved what Montgomery did last year. I really think that Mike McCarthy is not using this guy, and they're now going to be forced to use this guy at the running back position. I think this guy's going to shock a lot of people. So I protect Ty Montgomery.
I'll give you that 5. All right. Let's go on to Detroit Lions. Of course, I am sticking with my man who is the most underrated quarterback in the NFL who don't get no love, Matthew Stafford. I'm a Stafford fan. I got Matthew Stafford, of course. Ziggy Ansah. Okay. And you know what? Gerard Davis, the middle linebacker they just drafted. I think he's gonna be a very good player for them.
Yeah, this one was a little tricky for me. The two that I really like is Gerard Davis, who they just drafted, and Darius Slay. I think you got to lock him up, of course, in the backfield.
Sure.
The third one was a little tricky. I didn't really like Ebron too much to retain. I didn't really Stafford. I do love. I love his grit, but so in the end, I went with Golden Tate just because I think he's so serviceable, especially for what he's being paid in terms of salary. I mean, I loved him ever since Seattle, and when he went to Detroit, I was a huge fan. So if I'm the GM, I'm putting a lock on Golden.
So I'm going to protect number 9, the best quarterback in Lions history over the last 40, 50 years. Nothing against Scott Mitchell or Rodney Peete, but I don't know, man. I think Matt Stafford has him beat just off longevity. I got Stafford, I got Ziggy Ansah, and I got Glover Quinn.
I'm running with Stafford. I'm running with Travis Swanson, and I'm running with Glover Quinn.
Just to make you feel at ease, the reason why Rodney Peete didn't do good with the Detroit Lions because he got stressed out in Philadelphia. Just to add that in there. But let's move on to Bears. Of course, I'm gonna take probably the seventh best running back in the NFL, probably Jordan Howard. Not as good as the other guys who played last year, but he's very solid. I'm gonna retain Mitch Trubisky because how the Chicago threw up all their draft picks for this one guy. Let's see how he pans out. And you know what, Leonard Floyd, even though now he's having concussion issues, I hope the young man medically wise gets over it and continue to ball out. I think he's a young stud.
Yeah, I think we pretty much agreed. Jordan Howard, you got to retain, and Leonard Floyd, you definitely got to lock up. And he hasn't had much burn on the fields yet, but I think you got to retain him in Kevin White because he could be something special if he actually does pan out.
Tim. Come on, Tim. I saw the shade there. Jordan Howard didn't even play the full 16.
Who's that?
Jordan Howard didn't play the full 16, and he was on your boys' heels.
Oh, well, you know what? My fault, Dudley. You know why? Because I was agreeing with Fogman. Fogman, he likes to pick players who don't play football. So, my fault.
Okay. And another thing, your offensive line, what? You said you have the best run blocking line, right?
The Bears?
Yeah. No,
I didn't see that.
The Cowboys.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, let me read some names off to you for the Chicago Bears.
We made
Hold on. Follow me here, sir. Indulge me for a second. Let me read off some names for you, sir. Charles Leno, Josh Sitton, Cody Whitehair, Kyle Long, Bobby Massey. Jordan Howard put up numbers behind that line. Didn't play the full 16.
That's not. I don't. What are you saying?
I think he's better than your boy Zeke, but let's protect Jordan Howard.
I'm better than Zeke. See,
I think he is. He ran behind a way worse line, and he played on a really bad team.
he's not better.
Played on a team that threw a lot because they were behind a lot.
Not better.
All right, Tim. That's cool. I think he is. But we'll protect Howard. We'll protect Kyle Long, one of their guards.
Top guard in the league, too.
I don't know about that.
And you know what? And to be honest with you, Dallas offensive line, not to cut it off, but Dallas offensive line, only 2 of them were first-round picks. Everybody else was a third-round grade or more or less.
Wait, 3 of them were first-round picks, bro.
No, 2. Well, no, 3. Frederick got picked in the first round, but he had a second and third-round grade. They thought it was a reach. You remember that? You told me that. You told me that yourself.
Yeah. Of course, everyone thought it was a reach, but he was still picked in the first round. I mean,
right, but he wasn't stated. And then Lyle Collins was an undrafted player.
That's because he got caught up in some nonsense. He should have been a first round. He had a first round grade, Tim. He lucked out. That's good. That's a good thing.
And Jonathan Cooper is a former first round who, he's working his way out. Man, like 4 first round linemen. Ooh, shit.
Yeah, Jonathan Cooper's also been on like 10 teams, but whatever. We'll see what happens. My last player for the Bears. Let's protect Cameron Meredith.
Nice one. Receiver.
Because looking at that team, they don't have a lot to protect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to agree that I'm going to go with Cameron Meredith. I'm going to go with Jordan Howard. And I'm going to go with, I guess he needs something on defense. So I guess I'll go Danny Trevathan. Because there's not much else on that defense.
Yeah, he came from Denver. I wasn't thinking about picking him too.
What? Wait.
I mean,
wait. We're not crazy about guys like Harold Jones-Quarty or Crevan LeBlanc or Pernell McPhee, guys, or Prince Akamara.
What can I say? There's so many to choose from.
You talking about? Wait, are those practice squad guys?
They all started at some point. It's amazing.
They made it 100% attendance OTA. That's very important.
100.
The Minnesota Vikings.
Speaking of,
I miss Quaddle. You know why? Because we were trying to pick 3 guys, and he would probably pick 15 or 20. And I miss that passion. But I'm picking 3 guys, and I know he wouldn't be able to help himself. So I'm taking Stephon Diggs.
Oh man.
Yo, Stephon Diggs could be a top 5 player, man, if he had a consistent quarterback, and the Duke could run route, the Duke could play. I'm taking Xavier Rhodes, who I think is the best cornerback in the NFL right now. Okay, and I'm taking Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, I'm basically substituting Stephon Diggs in your lineup for Anthony Barr, and I'm keeping
Ooh.
Xavier Rhodes and Dalvin Cook as well for the Vikings. So pretty much on the same page.
bro, my heart hurts. First of all, I
Oh.
think Stephon Diggs, one of the most overrated receivers in the NFL by far.
Wow.
I think he's incredibly overrated. I think one time Cueto posted a video of him. Well, he caught 13 balls for 80 yards against the Lions. I'm like, well, Cueto, divide 80 by 13, and you tell me how many yards per reception that was. Oh, he really burned us on slant, bubble screen, out, slant. All right, beautiful. Meanwhile, Golden Tate had like 130 on like 6 receptions because he can get down the field. Unlike Stephon Diggs. Who to protect on this trash heap of a team? We'll protect Everson Griffin. That's a good start. I'll also protect Anthony Barr. All right, I like him. But man, you guys didn't protect the best player on that defense, Harrison Smith. I'm protecting him.
I agree. I would start with Harrison Smith. I would protect Anthony Barr. And then I'm going to go Kyle Rudolph because you got to have some type of offensive production.
Nice.
But y'all got to stop with this Stephon Diggs nonsense. He's overrated.
I just want to say, Quados, I did not say that. Watch him come up with a whole novel on y'all.
Watch he post.
Anderson.
Bro, Stephon Diggs caught the most slant routes in the NFL last season. He's easily the best short yardage receiver in the game.
We love you and we miss you, Quados. All right, NFC South. Atlanta Falcons, of course, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, and Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, actually, those are my 3. So we actually agree on one for Tim and I got one. All 3 baby hat trick.
Yeah, I'm going with that. Yeah.
Hard to argue that. Looks like Fox might be having some difficulty. So Tim, looks like we're moving on.
Yeah, he had to get off the call.
Brandon Graham was calling him about contract negotiations and not showing up. So.
I figured that, because it's like after we said the drug thing going on in Philadelphia, you see how fast he got off the phone. Now he wants to see what's going on. You see, he's nervous. Don't worry, Fox, we got your back. You gotta tell them to just say no. All right, so Carolina Panthers. Now, I'm taking Luke Kuechly, of course, the best middle linebacker in football. Greg Olsen, one of the hardest workers on the Carolina Panthers, next to Kuechly. And I'm taking Matt Khalil. I am not retaining Cam Newton. Why? I don't want a guy who can follow the rules. I don't want a me guy. I don't want a crybaby. I don't want a guy if your coach asks you, the leader, tie on game day in a suit and you can't wear a tie, but you want to wear a collared shirt. That's disrespectful.
Wait a second. You don't want a crybaby, but you're a fan of Dez Bryant. What are you saying?
Dez Bryant's not a crybaby. He's passionate.
All right, Tim, I'll let you have that.
Panthers. I'm going actually Kuechly. I'm going to go Kawan Short. And I'm going to
Nice.
go with the boy they actually just got in the first round this year, Christian McCaffrey, because their backfield is old as dirt.
I'm going to protect number 1, Cam Newton, a.k.a. Scam Newton. As I like to call him when he was at Auburn, Scam Newton. I'm protecting Scam Newton. I'll protect Star Lutulele, the other defensive tackle. I'll also protect Luke Kuechly.
Dig it?
All right. We're going with the New Orleans Saints. Of course, Drew Brees. I'm retaining their free safety, Sean Lattimore, their rookie, and Von Bell.
I kind of went a different side of it. Marshawn Lattimore was going to be the number 1, and you could argue AP, but he's old, man. He's got maybe a year left. I'm going Mark Ingram still for the value. I think he's still a bruising back to that team. And then I'm actually going to go Michael Thomas. Second-year dude. I think he's just going to still blow up, especially in that offense. So,
yeah, actually, that's the main good one to keep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to protect Mike Thomas. I'm going to protect Sheldon Rankins. And I'm also protect Cam Jordan.
That's a good one, too.
I can't believe I protected
right.
that many defensive players on a defense that's been so bad for so long.
Yeah, I got two. Right about that. All right, let's go with the Bucks. All right, I got, of course, Mike Evans, Jameis Winston, and I got Jevon McCoy.
Yeah, Joe McCoy, Mike Evans, and then mine is going to be, again, another draftee who's just being raved about, O.J. Howard.
Not Jameis Winston?
It's a tough one.
Let's see who. I'm gonna go. I'll definitely protect Mike Evans. I'm gonna protect Noah Spence. I think he's about to blow up in a second. Third person I'm gonna protect is unless you're a Buccaneers fan, I don't really know about the guy, but he was a second-round pick a few years ago. I'm gonna protect Ali Marpet, the guard from Hobart.
Nice. All right. We got the Arizona Cardinals. This was kind of tough. I'm retaining Tyrann Matthews, Patrick Peterson, and, this was tough for me to do. I'm retaining David Johnson.
Yeah, the Cardinals were tricky. I kind of wanted to go with a Honey Badger route. I'm just a huge fan of him, but honestly, from a GM perspective, they wouldn't go that route. They would obviously go, Patrick Peterson, the more sound choice, and then I would probably go with Chandler Jones. And then for my third, that's the tricky one. I'm not a big fan of either of the receivers really, like JJ or John Brown to really lock up. I would probably go with Hassan Reddick because they're really going to need that help in the middle area. So, yeah, I think I'll go with him.
All right, let's go Seattle. Let's go with Sean Seattle Seahawks.
Wait, now Dula.
Wait, what the heck, bro?
Oh, excuse me, my bad, though.
Thought he left with Fox.
I'm sorry.
No, man. The Cardinals. I'm gonna go all three linebackers here. I'm gonna protect Chandler Jones. I'm gonna protect Hassan Reddick. I'm gonna protect Deone Buchanan.
You're not protecting David Johnson? Oh my God! I so wish Fagner was here for that one. Oh my God!
In all fairness, if you look, I haven't protected many running backs.
That is true.
Before we move to the next game, Randy just said Drew Brees is 38 years old. Why protect him?
We protect Drew Brees because, in my opinion,
how about that?
Yeah, and not only that, Drew Brees is still effective with them weapons on that offense. Michael Thomas and Snead, and that's why you keep Drew Brees, in my opinion.
You keep him because he can throw for 5,000 yards in his sleep, and he's not gonna screw the pooch in big games. That's why.
Yeah, 40 years old. He's still doing his thing. All right, let's go to Seattle Seahawks. All right, of course we keep Russell Wilson. Bobby Wagner, top middle linebacker in football. And you know what? Seattle got a good defense, but I like Doug Baldwin. Got to keep Doug Baldwin. That dude has stepped it up the last 2 years.
Hard to argue that.
Look at Sean smirking in the side. When I said, look, he's blushing. Look at him. Look. When he's so low, look.
Agree with that. I can't disagree with that.
I do, yeah. Obviously, I like Russell Wilson. I agree with that. I'm agreeing with Bobby Wagner. But my third, I think I'm going to go and retain Michael Bennett. I think I'm going to lock him up.
Man, I can't.
I mean, it's a toss-up because Michael Bennett or Doug Baldwin. I mean, Doug Baldwin pulled it up, but I mean, Bobby Wagner and Bennett, those are the really two outstanding defensive players.
You don't stop talking.
Let's go. Josh, you went?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Russell Wilson. I'm going to go Bobby Wagner. And I'm going to go CJ Prosise.
Nice. I don't know.
We got the last team.
No, it's two left.
No, we got 49ers. I'm taking Joe Staley.
Yeah, it's crazy. You picked two of the most
49ers even existed.
Yeah, we forgot about the 49ers.
No.
They're a team?
Right now.
Hey, before we move on, Corey just said Earl Thomas. Anyone? That's another.
Yeah, is he even playing?
But
I don't even know if he wants to play football yet. He's like tweeting about his life right now. So, as a GM, no, I'm not locking up somebody that's like, I gotta see where my head's at. My fibula is still healing. I don't know. It's a lot to commit to.
That was a while ago. I mean, he hasn't been talking that talk since after. I mean.
But you know what? Here's the thing.
And he's healing. He's healing, ahead of schedule. So we'll see.
But I here's the thing. If you're gonna be team Russell Wilson, you got to give him his receiver. Doug Baldwin is really the only wide receiver weapon he's had. Jimmy Graham could go. That boy could go. There's no old line.
To be honest, he was a waste of a trade. We should have kept that center.
Now, Bobby Wagner sets that tone for that second. He sets the front seven, sets the tone up for that secondary. I mean, don't get me wrong. Earl Thomas to me is to me probably the best free safety in the draft in the league. Earl Thomas fan from Texas, but I mean, you can go either way. All right, 49ers. I'm taking Joe Staley. I'm taking their draft pick Solomon Thomas and their draft pick Reuben Foster.
Yeah, I agree with the first two, Staley and Solomon. And I think for the third, I'm going to retain Navarro Bowman. It's the heart of that defense right now.
So,
wait. There's someone worthy of retaining on the 49ers?
Well, I'm just trying to play the game, though.
Hey, Dula, you might as well just take Cat back, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna protect Robbie Gould. Nah. There's so many bad choices to make here.
Colin.
I'm gonna protect DeForest Buckner.
That's a good one.
Let's go one.
I'll protect Eric Reed.
Ooh.
I'll protect Joe Staley.
Okay.
See how hard I think about that? Because it's a lot of mediocrity across the board there, so you can't go wrong.
All right. The last team.
Which, by the way, was better than them just having a lot of trash across the board last year. They've upgraded to mediocrity.
We got the 40. I'm sorry, the LA Rams. Of course, Aaron Donald. We on his contract. I hope he gets traded. But Aaron Donald, you got to be retained as a Ram. Todd Gurley, and my surprise pick, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are gonna go crazy because it's like, how do you not retain Jared Goff? You wasted a one on him. You traded blah 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 blah. So probably you would have to lock him up because of the amount that you put into the dude. And the other two, you can't. How do you pass on Aaron Donald and Todd Gurley? You know, I don't know. It's really hard to go past those two.
Oh man, another team that's a train wreck. Aaron Donald, okay, I can get jiggy with that. Not a fan of protecting running backs, but there's a lack of talent, so Todd Gurley. Third person, I would say Tremaine Johnson, the corner. I was stuck between him and Mark Barron.
And you guys know Tremaine Johnson might be Josh Norman 2.0.
Yeah, he might. The Rams are dumb enough to let that happen. So
if that happens, my gosh, that's a prize right there.
y'all want to know a fun fact? Remember how everybody said the Rams fleeced the Redskins on that Robert Griffin III trade?
Right.
Right.
The only player they got out of that deal that was worth anything was Janoris Jenkins, and he's in New York now. Greg Robinson, Detroit.
I mean, that's what happens when you.
So listen.
Right.
Hindsight's 2020. It looks like the Redskins might have won that trade after all.
But I want to see what happens with the Bears and the 49ers with Mitch Trubisky, as much as they gave up for, and I want to see how much comes out of that deal because the Bears give up too much. But that was our thing for today, Sean. We are done with all the teams.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a long episode today, guys.
Well, listen, don't let all this distract you from the fact that the Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Never forget.
Hashtag never forget.
Never forget. Stay woke. Had their defense had their team stayed woke, they might have won the game.
I don't know what happened, man. Let's not. I mean, look, man. I feel so bad for them because it's a worse loss.
Brady happened.
It was
Brady happened.
Yeah, it was Brady, but it's a worse loss to the Seahawks. At least the Seahawks, they were down and they made one bad play.
Listen,
they had the whole game, and they seamlessly lost. It's not like it's like one bad move and that they think about it. No, they slowly lost a winning game. How?
But you know what, Sean? Sean, this is 2 years in a row. This is what happened when Seattle played the Patriots on the goal line. This is what happened when Atlanta had the lead. You cannot count the Patriots out until the last minute of the game.
You're right. Yeah. I'm not talking about the Patriots. Of course, you're right with that. But when you just look at the Falcons, forget they played the Patriots. Forget they played the Patriots.
Before we get out of here, I'm going to tell a story. I'll tell a story about that Super Bowl. By the way, I didn't watch the game at all because when they got up 28-3, I thought the thing was over. Same thing happened when Seattle destroyed Denver. I stopped watching because they were up by a lot. There was no need to watch such depressing things. So, I don't watch the game, and, I literally did not know about this until the next day when I go to work, and my boss is like, well, everyone, we're going to take the last 18 minutes of the day. We're not going to do anything. You guys can just go home. I'm like, why 18 minutes? Well, that's what the Falcons did last night. The last 18 minutes of the game, they didn't show up. So everyone got
Wow.
Savage.
Wow, savage.
Well, that Seattle and Denver game, that to me, I was pissed because I was like, yo, you mean to tell me by halftime the game is over? We got nothing to do.
After
For 2 quarters.
After that snap that went over Manning's head, I was like, this game's over. It's going to get brutal.
Yeah, Seattle, to me, that was an embarrassing loss.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
At Eli's house, too. At Giant, I was like, yo, You know, but you know, when Atlanta and New England, I knew it. I said, listen, you're hanging around too much. You gotta blow. You gotta put them out. You gotta put them away. And time, even though I still think that last rushing touchdown, that wasn't a touchdown. That boy was down.
Oh, stop it.
But hey,
But here's the thing: they have way so many chances. Even if they call that not a touchdown,
of course.
I think they were going to still make that touchdown. I mean, the Falcons dropped the ball literally. Like, what the hell, bro?
But when my Dallas Cowboys played them in the Super Bowl this year, it's not gonna happen.
Nope.
We're gonna dominate. We're gonna win.
And we shall see. On that note, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys again next week, same time, same place. No doubt.
No doubt.
Coke,
100% attendance.
100% of OTA. And we out.
100.
All day.